Hello friends, we are continuing our studies from where we left off. Welcome to our channel of Shah Ramat architecture. We continue our studies on castling. At the end of our previous lesson, we mentioned that castling is not always possible. Today, we will talk about the situations in which castling is not possible. In the example we will examine, the kings are white Shah and black Shah. In this case, it is black's turn. As we remember while castling, the king took 2 steps towards the castle, walked around the castle and came next to him. Now it is white's turn. Rook A8 is protecting rook F8. They are cooperating together. Yes, the white king said, I will castle as well. Let me castle with the close rook. That is, he will come 2 steps closer with his rook on A1 and castling, but he cannot do it. He was getting 2 steps closer. It doesn't work, so let's try the other rook. Let's castle with the distant rooks. With the far rook, he was getting 2 steps closer again. Let's get 2 steps closer. Let's castling. We couldn't do it. We touched the king first. And even though we got 2 steps closer to the castle, why can't the castling move be made? Friends, we can't castling here because the king has moved before. If we remember, the queen was starting in his own color. The king was starting in the opposite color. The king was starting from here instead of the queen. In other words, the king moved at any point in the game. Let's look at the black king. The black king did not move because the queen started in his own color. The king started in the opposite color. The king was able to castle on the square where he started the game. That is, when the king did not move at all, but the white king normally starts at E1. Can move to D1 somewhere. So since the king is used, he cannot make a castling move here because he is not where he started. Well, let him do this. Let him come back to where he started. Let black move his rook to the open road, and we know that the rooks are open. He loved the roads very much. Blacks came and took the open road. Yes, whites brought their king to the position where he started. Now I want to castle too. He can't take 2 steps towards his castle and castling. Because in order to castling, it is not enough for the king to be where he started. The king must have never been used. The king has gone before and came back and moved several times. That means, friends, if the king has moved, he cannot castling before. To castling, the king must have never been used. If it has never been used, it can castling. D1. The king cannot castling. Therefore, we can say this. If the king has been used before, even if it returns to its old place, it cannot castling anymore. In order for the king to castling, it must be at the place where the king started the game, and it must not have been used at all. In cases where it is not possible to castle, we continue. Yes, here it is black's turn to castle again. He wants, and friends, let's be careful. The distance between the king and the rook is empty. It's far away from the rook. It's far away from the rook. It's empty now. Black's king took 2 steps towards his rook and made the dough. The black king is happy. Let's come to the whites. Whites also want to castle with their close rook. He came close to his king, but he can't do it. He will take 2 steps closer. 2 steps. He cannot approach and castling. We know that the king has never been used, but it is not enough that the king has not been used. The rook we will castle with must also have never been used and must be where it started. Okay. Let's do it this way. Let the rook return to its old place. We also made black make a move. Now, let's castling with the king. The rook is where it started. Now let's castle. We can't, friends, where it started. It is not enough for it to come. The rook on which we are going to castle must have never been used. If you remember, the position was like this in the beginning. It came to its old place. We cannot castle the rook because it was used. It is not enough for it to come to the place where it started. Suddenly, the white king remembered his distant rook. It is empty between the far rook, and we know that the king has never been used. We took 2 steps towards the castle, and we did it. Here we can say this. If we are going to castling, the rook that we will castle on must be unused, and must be where it started. Here we cannot castle with the green rook in g1, because this rook has been used and is not where it started, but rook a1 has never been used and is where it started. Then you can castle. If we sum up, friends, we will castle. If the rook is used, we cannot castle. It is possible to castle. We continue with the positions where there is no castle. In the position we will examine, it is black's turn. The white king has made the rune. He is happy. He is safe. But the black king has not been able to castling. He has no connection between the castles, and he is in the middle and castling like a pumpkin. He wants to take 2 steps towards the castle and secure himself. He will take 2 steps towards the castle and castling. He wants to castle with the close castle. He wants to castle with the far castle. He was taking 2 steps closer in both cases. Yes, he can't castling with the close castle. So, let him take 2 steps with the far castle. He came 2 steps closer. He can't castling. We came 2 steps closer. Why can't he castling? There is no move. The gap is empty. The rook is not used. The king cannot castling where he started, friends. The black king cannot castling here. Because he is in danger. The king cannot castling while he is in danger. The king should have made a castle move before being in danger. We cannot castling neither short nor long when the king is in danger. So we can say this. King. We cannot castle when we are in danger, friends. Let's continue with the situations where it is not possible to castle. Friends, it is black's turn here. Black also wants to castle. He will take 2 steps towards the nearby rook and make the castling. Yes, the gap between the king and the rook is empty. He has never used either the king or the rook, so let's castling. He cannot do it. Because, friends, the way the king will castling is. So his root is under fire from the yellow rook. The king's root is in danger here. Black Shah cannot castling here. Suddenly, Black Shah thought of the distant castle. There is an empty space between him and Shah Guven. Now let's castle the distant castles. How many steps was he getting closer? 1, 2, and the castle came around and came to him. To sum up, let's say that what the king will do is good. If he is under fire, we cannot castling again. So the king himself will be safe, and the king's route will be safe, so that he can castling. Here, we cannot do short castling, because Sarkali holds the f8 square. But we can do long castling, because our route is safe. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Friends, our channel. Let's not forget to like and subscribe. See you in our next video.